All right, what is up, everyone? This is PrimeTime Kansas City, and on today's episode, we'll be going over the Kansas City Royals' slow start to the second half. NBA Finals is about to finish. Tonight is Game 6. We'll get this out after Game 6 is done. So we will either have a Game 7 on Friday night, or we'll know who the champion is tomorrow morning. We'll be going over the NFL. Richard Sherman, will he ever play another game in the NFL? We don't know. Tom Brady was, quote-unquote, playing with the torn MCL. Don't really care. He can still go suck a dick. But that's really all we have to get into it. So let's get right into it. Where should we start?
I
say
let's
the Royals,
start with the Royals draft.
No.
Royals draft. I thought we already talked about this.
We haven't done one since.
We have not done one since the pick. John's not thrilled about this. Listen,
I'm not either.
I just hate talking about.
I literally yelled, "You suck!" when they introduced him on the call.
Hey, it's not Frank
you
Maserato's. However you say his last name, not his fault. It's not his fault that we paid 65% of the slot value at 7. John is being irrational.
Why didn't you tell Dayton he sucks?
No, Dayton does suck. I'm on that train. I tried to defend him as long as possible. I'm completely off of that train now. Dayton, I've lost faith in Dayton more at this point. I just don't believe in him anymore. The more and more time that passes, the more you realize 14 and 15 was kind of just shit luck.
Oh yeah, I agree. I do want to know who was our picks and who was our first round pick in 15 and 16.
15 was Ash Russell. Obviously never became anything. He quit baseball like 2 years after getting drafted. And 16, we didn't have a first round pick.
Why?
Don't know why, but we didn't. So that's your answer.
Stupid.
And then 17 was Prado, so that's kind of the next core.
Look at Prado. He finally made triple.
But look how long it's been since we've had a major league player do well. That was a first round pick.
Brady Singer.
Brady Singer doesn't count.
No, I'm just saying Brady Singer is.
He's not doing well. Hosmer in 08. After that, it was Aaron Crow in 2009. Wasn't really that good. Christian Cologne in 202010 had some big moments.
He was an all-star. Put some respect on Aaron Crow's name.
Hey, Aaron Crow was a 1 year freaking whatever you want to call it. 2011 was 11 Cologne or was
Aaron Crow.
11 was Starling. 11 was Bubba Starling. 12 was Kyle Zimmer. 13 was Hunter Dozier. 14 was Brandon Finnegan. None of these guys have produced.
We had 2 first round picks in 13. Can you name me the other one?
Foster Griffin? No. That's too recent.
No,
Dozier was the first.
A Oakland A's pitcher.
Sean Manaea?
Yes.
Hey, that's the best pitcher Dayton's taken in the last decade.
He didn't stay on the team.
Well, it was a worthy trade. You got Ben Zobrist out of him. But the point is, Dayton Moore doesn't know what he's doing. He really doesn't. He's just lucky Jorge Soler's agent was stupid this offseason and turned down a big-ass offer because we'd be even worse off. I mean, he already gave Dozier $25 million. And listen, I mean, when I critique these guys, it's not personal, but they're just it's impossible to say that the part of the lineup with Dozier, Soler, and O'Hearn is something that opponents fear because they don't. It's literally laughable to the other
They
team.
would have been fearing it today, though.
Today O'Hearn came through, and you got to respect it. But
I can't believe at one point Christian Cologne was considered first round talent.
Oh, he's the 4th pick.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
If there's worse, I mean, there's definitely worse players.
He actually produced in big.
Bubba Starling was way worse, and he got taken 5th. So I mean,
Ash Russell was definitely the worst, but.
I don't know. He just quit baseball altogether. Bubba,
exactly. He quit.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's the worst. I think the worst is the guy who kept trying and couldn't do anything. Ash just probably had some personal ass stuff going on and didn't want to play baseball anymore, which, whatever. I mean, you saw that happen with Kyler Murray, and Athletics used the number 70. But he's not. I mean, the Athletics used the 7th overall pick on him, and he chose football.
Yeah, if I was an Oakland A's fan, I would be pissed.
Well, it sucks, but that's not just them. The Braves had a guy, I believe in 19 or 18, named Carter Stewart, who they drafted in the top 10, who didn't sign with them and just went to Japan because they weren't giving him a big enough bonus.
Well, Kyler did come out and say this offseason before he retires, he definitely wants to – he's not ruling out playing baseball again, but he wasn't going to say much because he didn't want to start rumors.
Listen, the MLB draft is a complete shit show.
Is he considered still an Oakland A?
Who?
Kyler.
I have no idea. And at this point, I think the Oakland Athletics could care less.
Well, I don't know about that one.
At this point, you think the Athletics really depend on Kyler Murray? No. If he somehow came back and was productive, they would take it. But if he doesn't, they're not worried about it.
How the fuck are we talking about Kyler Murray?
Yeah, fuck Kyler Murray.
Frank Mazzucato.
Frank Mazzucato was overdrafted. Everybody would agree.
Connecticut.
Everybody would agree. Nobody else in the majors would have taken him at number 7.
He had a .16 ERA his senior year.
I will say, isn't it a little less stupid given about our second-round pick, that Kudra nude, that we needed to give a lot of bonus money to? Like, I'm not saying that this is a good pick, but like there are at least caveats here.
Well, our second-round pick,
right?
This is what I don't like about baseball's draft, though, because the Royals clearly didn't want to pick 7th. They clearly didn't. They did not want to take a top talent and have to pay them a lot. They wanted to take multiple players throughout the rounds and be able to distribute the money, throughout multiple players. And so they took a guy at 7 who really wasn't, a 7th overall worthy player. Why can't you trade back in the MLB draft? It would make things so much easier. If you didn't want to, if it's just like in the NFL, if you don't want to pay a guy big money and you're picking 7th, trade back. It should be that easy. I don't understand how we're in 2021 and you can't trade draft picks. Like, what? That's like essential in every other sport.
Yeah, I agree. I somewhat, I guess, maybe understand it because like they're unstable trade assets, like in today's MLB with the way that people can't sign. But like, yeah, all around, I agree. They should be able to trade, and them not being able to definitely hurt the Royals this time around. Because yeah, if they could have, you're absolutely right. They would have gotten either more picks or players. But yeah, I mean, okay, we can still at least say about this pick that it isn't all bad because it has silver linings to it.
I would rather go and try and pick up 5 to 6 players that they're high on, maybe not top high on, but they think can produce, than just one guy that they hope is going to be a stud. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, if I had to pick between this dude or Kumar Raka for like $4 million that we definitely have.
Well, every team's given a set amount in the draft to use.
I'm just saying, like,
Kumar Rocker has his, as much as I wanted him, he has his flaws too, and he's not a perfect prospect.
This dude was supposed to go in the 3rd round. I don't want to hear it.
Well, no, there was some mock drafts that had Frank Mazzucato in the 1st round, late 1st round, but they had him in it. It's not like this dude was like a nobody.
Patrick
never heard
Mahomes
of.
didn't show up at the draft, and the MLB is even more unstable than the NFL. How are we going to judge this by the round that the scouts had then? I feel like we should be past
we're not. This is Jack. Oh, no, I am. John.
You were the one who brought it up.
The reason I'm judging it is because Patrick Mahomes, I'm pretty sure he was supposed to go in like the 1st or 2nd round.
Dude, he didn't go to the draft because he thought he was going to be a day 2 pick, though. Like,
day 2 is 2nd through 3.
Yeah.
You cannot compare the MLB 2nd and 3rd round to the NFL 2nd and 3rd round.
No, the NFL 2nd and 3rd round has a shit ton of talent.
Yeah.
But so I'm not saying baseball doesn't.
Having them go to college.
But here's the problem, and this is what makes the MLB draft such a snooze fest, is every player they take, they say, I wonder if he'll sign. Okay, no fan is going to watch a draft where they have to wonder if the player they take is interested in signing or going to college. It's just like that's an unnecessary that's a part of the
MLB the show.
That's a part of the draft they need to fix. It's just the fact will he sign? Can they give him a big enough bonus? What other of the what NBA, NFL, NHL do they have a problem signing their draft picks? No team does. Not even
NFL.
Not
teams,
really.
No, NFL teams have struggled meeting an agreement. Like the player is obligated to play for that team, but NFL teams definitely have troubles meeting into where they think they're.
I'll tell you the difference though is NFL players report and practice.
Exactly,
and
that's what I'm saying.
They do it before they sign anything. Rookie minicamp, a lot of them don't have a contract. Baseball, they do not even associate themselves with your team until they've signed. And it's just like
like Trevor Lawrence.
You can't get a fan base excited, and you can't get fans excited when every year there's a top 10 pick not signing, it feels like.
Okay,
and it's
then
just
what do you propose we do? Like, I feel like that's just the structure of the way.
And you do realize,
you need to make it easier.
They really don't start till next year. Like they go to Arizona fall camp. But that's
I understand. Well, I mean, they can. I mean, a lot of them will do some sort of minor league ball to end the season. But I mean, I just think I think a proposition you could see is to give teams more spending money on draft picks. I think it's just not the fact that we're looking at this and saying, can they afford this guy? In the first round, we're asking that question for a rookie, for a guy we don't know if he's any good. I just feel like that's really hard for a fan to, take it. Like, how do you take that? This guy's never played professional baseball, and we can't even sign him. Like, I don't get it. I feel like that is bad for the sport.
All right, well, that's enough Royals talk. Let's get into basketball. NBA Finals, Game 6. It's been a really good series.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Foster is reffing tonight, but Jackson made me aware of a Bucks referee that is like hatred to the Bucks. I still think Scott Foster tops any NBA ref, so I think the Bucks win tonight. Now, what do I want to happen? I want Suns in 7.
I'd like Bucks in 6, especially for the Brandon Jennings meme, if you know what I'm talking about. But
yeah, I don't understand that meme. I'm lost.
Okay, so I'll give you a very brief explanation. Back in 2013, they were an 8 seed taking on the Miami Heat in the middle of their dynasty, and they asked Brandon Jennings what he thought about that upcoming series, and he said Bucks in 6, and that ever since it's just been a thing. It's not really that deep, but it is pretty funny, especially now that they have a chance to win the finals in 6. I'm taking Phoenix tonight in a 15-point win.
Even though you want the Bucks to win tonight.
I do want the Bucks to win. I just have a feeling tonight
John, No, never mind. I was gonna ask you for your daily pick of the week.
Daily pick of the week?
Yeah, daily pick of the week.
Your weekly pick, not daily pick.
Your weekly pick, but if you give them this pick, this podcast is not going to be up. But
yeah, so we'll just save it because there's really nothing else going on at all. So
yeah, but who do you have?
Maybe some long shot odds, maybe some preseason odds on NFL.
I will say this: I like CP3 at plus 800 for Finals MVP.
All right, I'll tell you this much: Kansas State over 5.5 wins in football. If you want to go long ranger, I think.
What are the odds on that?
It's like minus 110.
They're favored to get 6 wins.
No,
It's like minus 110.
Well, it's like minus 110 on both sides.
Yeah. That's how it is for like that kind of stuff. Not that we know.
But basically, yeah, I think they have a 5th-year quarterback. So
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, that's honestly enough to make me think they can win 3 non-con games. Plus, you get to play KU in that conference. So 4 free wins right there. And then, you never see where they'll go with the next one. So they could get 2
trivia question. Someone can answer at home, or you two can answer. Who had KU didn't this year? It's first time in a while. Did not have the worst recruiting class in football in the Big 12. Who did?
TCU.
Wrong.
Wow. Texas Tech.
Baylor.
Texas Tech. That's right.
Yeah.
Texas Tech had the worst recruiting class in football this year. That shocked me.
I think if Cliff Kingsbury was still at Texas Tech and he didn't get fired from Texas Tech, I literally think Texas Tech is a top 15 program.
Dude, are you kidding?
No,
they were ass.
Just because Patrick Mahomes came from that. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but they were ass.
You do realize Cliff Kingsbury, if he was the head coach at Texas Tech and he was recruiting someone, he could literally said, I make Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, I guess, but he's still kind of ass.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, people want to go there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's kind of.
It's like the Calipari effect, but for a player.
No, I get it, but Texas, there's also a lot better schools than Texas Tech.
Who do you think's winning Game 6 tonight?
Who do I think's winning Game 6? The Milwaukee Bucks. I think that Mike Budenholzer has actually done a pretty good job this series.
He won't get fired. You have to remember, before the postseason started, there was rumors that the Bucks didn't make a deep run. Budenholzer was going to be out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is, I got to say, he's kind of told Giannis to quit shooting threes. Oh, there we go.
Non-phone call of the episode.
Who is it?
Who's calling today?
Everyone shut up. Oh, wait, someone picked it up. I don't know who it was. Then.
Oh, damn.
It was somebody important, though. Probably my grandma.
We'll talk. All right, tell us later.
We don't need it.
Anyway,
we don't need your grandma on the podcast.
What was I saying? What were we talking about?
Mike
Game
Budenholzer.
6?
Mike Budenholzer. And
Mike Budenholzer. He's done. Okay, yeah. I was saying the main thing that I've liked about him is he's told Giannis to quit shooting threes. And it's obviously working. That dude is an absolute dynamo when he just plays like his 2K player, which is to just drive to the rim and just, yam on people. So yeah, I think the Bucks are in a better spot. I kind of thought going into this series too that the Suns just weren't that good, given how they went 6 against the Clippers without Kawhi and Paul George not even playing all that great against them. So yeah, I think the Bucks will finish it off tonight, and that'll be weird because I didn't think Giannis would get a ring, but he did.
I've said it on the podcast for however long we've been doing these. I don't think Giannis will ever get a ring, and I think this year's the year. I don't want it to be. I'd rather it be Chris Paul than Giannis.
I think Giannis has. I think the narrative that it's Chris Paul's turn or that he's earned it. I mean, yeah, he's been great, but I think Giannis has done more to get this ring.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
it would be much more.
Giannis turned the Bucks from a 15 and 67 team to like an NBA
he's
Finals
insane.
team.
If he wins this game, here's a question: if they win this series, obviously he would win Finals MVP.
I disagree.
How are you going to say that?
Chris Middleton.
You are okay.
Okay.
The two most iconic moments of the series are Giannis. The block on Ayton and the alley-oop dunk.
Jackson, just go past this one, dude. I'm sorry, Josh. That's a bad take.
Yeah, no, this is like when Skip Bayless said Kyrie should have won Finals MVP in 2016 over LeBron. This is next levels. Chris Middleton's been great. This is a sweep without Giannis.
Okay, if Giannis didn't get the dunk in Game 5, would Chris Middleton have a chance?
No!
Giannis has 2 40-point games this series. Like
Chris Middleton has at least one.
I don't give a ball.
Yeah, he has one.
Chris Middleton has had a good series. There's no denying that.
Chris
He's
Middleton
hit some
has a 40-point game.
And he's hit some clutch shots.
Josh,
but
shut up.
The two biggest moments of this series that people, if the Sun, obviously tonight still has to be
going to
written.
be Giannis, but I'm just saying Chris Middleton should be definitely it should not go unseen.
No, he's doing a very good job, and he's been a very good number 2 for Milwaukee this year. There's no doubt.
I think he's the MVP of this playoff run.
Oh, 100%. I mean, they're not. Granted, they did make the finals without Giannis, but they were also playing a Hawks team that probably shouldn't have been there. If we're being 100%, real.
Clutch against the Nets.
Okay, so Chris Middleton's he does have one 40-point game this series.
Yeah,
40 exactly. Yeah, I mean he's been good. I know, and
one of Giannis's 41 points. So
no, I'm just saying Giannis has been. It's hard to deny. If the Bucks win this series, Giannis is going to be Finals MVP. If the Suns do, it'll be Booker. It's just.
No. To be honest, I don't think we know who the Suns MVP is because if the Suns win these next 2 games, I think it really comes down to who comes out these next 2 games for the Suns.
No more MVP talk. Jesus Christ.
John's sick of it.
I'm just saying.
Stupid. There's too much to go down anyway. I mean, like Josh or whoever it was said. Yeah, Josh. Game 6 and 7. I mean, what if Middleton goes for 40 tonight and they lose, and he goes for 40 in the final and they win?
Or if Chris Paul gets a triple-double in Game 6 and 7.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we're talking right now, though. I think it's. I know Middleton's had a good series, but how can you say it's not Giannis? He's been.
No, I said I think it will be Giannis, but I'm just saying Middleton definitely could have a resume to look at.
No, Middleton's been.
You could argue the second Finals MVP is just Finals MVP. It's not the whole playoff.
I wish they did what hockey did and had a full playoff MVP.
Because if they did, then it's Chris Middleton.
Okay, I disagree again there, but. That's,
who would it be?
I would still say Giannis.
Giannis was gone for half
2
the
games.
Series. Yeah, 2 of the most important games. And who stepped up? Chris Middleton.
Okay, what about Game 7 versus Brooklyn? Who was the guy that stepped up that game?
Drew Holiday.
To keep their season alive. You are.
Okay, this is stupid as hell, guys.
You're just doing anything to discredit Giannis at this point.
Wasn't it Drew Holiday?
Giannis had 40, 11, and 13, and you're telling me that it's Drew Holiday. There is something
Drew
with
Holiday
Giannis
hit
haters.
Clutch shots in Game 7 against the
Everybody hits clutch shots in Game 7 if it goes to overtime.
Who did good in Game 7? And I gave you my honest answer.
Well, Giannis was better, and there's just no denying it. 40, 11, and 13 to keep their season alive.
What are you even saying? You guys are stupid. I'm sorry.
I'm putting the point out that Giannis has been more influential and more important to this Bucks run than Chris Middleton has.
Something I will say, though, is props to Milwaukee from not making the Brewers and Royals play during the NBA Finals. Even
Yeah,
though
'cause
I
I
would
would-
have not watched the Royals. I would
not have watched because we do not care, as Mike Tomlin would say.
We do not care.
We do not care.
We do not care.
Yeah, the Royals are terrible. I mean, it's just we don't need to talk about that.
We do not care.
We do not care. One
All
other
right, let's get into NFL. Richard
Let's do it.
Sherman will go into second, but coming out today, Aaron Rodgers, Jackson's favorite, turned down a 2-year extension to become the highest NFL player paid.
Yeah.
Not just
Okay,
the highest.
can I just start this off by saying like the Packers make no fucking sense at all? Like what so they wanted to make friends with Aaron again, so they offered him 5 years.
2.
Like I know, but that'd be 5 total, right?
Yeah.
Like
Unless
what? You just drafted his replacement. Like
unless it was an adjustment. And what if it was? Do we know if it was like replacing these next 2 years and just financially swap? Like
he was going to be here for.
So to add on, it was to add on.
In Green
How do
Bay
you
through
not know this?
2026.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: the report of him turning down an extension came out in May, April.
Yeah, they offered him another one.
It can't. No, this was the one from a while ago. This was the same one. It's just that now they know how long it was, and now they know it'd be the same amount. Schefter has brainwashed everybody. Schefter wants to be on this report so damn bad. Adam Schefter, granted, he's a great reporter, and he's obviously inside, knows a lot more than me, has completely milked this Aaron Rodgers story. He chose to drop it on draft night out of nowhere when he had the information for so long.
On Jackson's birthday.
Yeah, what a fuck. And then he just milked it, using quotes from the past. Like, Schefter has no clue because nobody except Aaron Rodgers has any clue if he'll be there for training camp. That's the reality of it. And if I had to put money on it, day one training camp, he will be there because I just do not see Aaron Rodgers sitting out a season.
I will bet that he won't.
You don't think he shows up at all for training camp?
No, I'm saying day one.
Day one, I think he shows up. I'd say this: if he doesn't show up day one, I don't think he shows up. Period.
If he's not
I don't think there's a
by
point.
August 1st, I think he will show up.
Training camp starts July 31st, so there's not much of a time between that. The Packers have been very, very clear with him. They're not trading him. They're not even entertaining.
I think we're going to see a Le'Veon Bell year. Then I truly do.
Give up $29 million and give up a year of your career. Do it.
Like
Do it.
This guy Mad said in the chat, he said, "I think he wants weapons, not cheddar." Aaron Rodgers does not care about the money.
It is so like, how can people look at the Green Bay Packers and not think they've given him help? Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, David Bakhtiari, great offensive line, great running game, good receiving core. Robert Tunyon,
Jackson,
young offensive mind.
Last year, how you did not have a receiving core, and you didn't add anyone.
Amari Rodgers in the 3rd round, actually, from Clemson. He's a pretty good receiver. But anyways, and Devin Funchess is coming this year. He opted out last year due to COVID. But the point remains, you had the top scoring offense this year. Like, you were the number 1 offense in the league last year with what you had, and we've only added to that. We didn't subtract anything. So I don't understand how this notion of Rodgers has no help.
I was just reading that from a fan. That was
no, I get it. But it's not just that comment. It's like there's
the front office.
Oh, he's pissed at the front office for taking Jordan Love.
Yeah,
but Rodgers' numbers were declining every year from 2015 to 2019. And as he got up in age, it only made sense to take a quarterback. I mean, especially if Rodgers was frustrated with the organization already, you knew you might need a backup plan. Nobody, probably not even Green Bay, saw that MVP year coming last year. And so now they have to adjust accordingly without totally giving up on Jordan Love. It's a sticky situation, but I don't think Green Bay is completely idiotic for everything they've done. Any smart organization that has a quarterback that drops in QBR for 5 straight seasons takes, a look and says, okay, maybe, especially at 36, maybe we should get a guy for the future.
John, do you think Aaron Rodgers will be a Green Bay Packer in the starting QB in week 1?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I don't think he is one to throw a year out. While I do think he is kind of petty, I don't think he would actually do that. I think he likes playing football too much.
Let me twist the narrative. Let me say this to you. If he was 27, do you think he would sit out a year? Yeah,
maybe.
There's a higher chance.
I mean, I think that definitely increases the possibility. At this stage in his career, he can see the lights going out. It's the clock is ticking on him. He doesn't have an infinite amount of time to force what he wants. Yeah, And yeah, that's basically what it boils down to for me. And I agree with Jackson. Schefter definitely milking this. I don't really think there's even been any new relevant information coming out.
Thank you. Thank you.
But
okay,
yeah.
If you could be told that you could gain like 100,000 new followers in one day on Twitter,
I'm not saying
we would
he's
do
doing
it.
anything wrong. The story's
We
been a
would
little
do it,
bit
yeah.
more
And
long
Schefter
given
is
the
doing
If
it
we
to
had
get
the news
clicks.
that Schefter has about Rodgers, we would tweet it out every single day.
That's the thing, though. He doesn't have news. He has stuff from all the way back. He has no relevant news. Nothing he has said in the last month is relevant. It's all stuff that we already knew. Rodgers is upset. He's not going to report to minicamp. It's not about the money. We all knew that. He's been saying this every single day. He's milking the hell out of it.
What came out last week that made people be like, oh, Adam Schefter's podcast?
It's just like, I feel like at this point, I mean, it's not even feeling. I know at this point he's milking this story because there's really not much else to talk about.
Now that he can get paid on Twitter for, of course he's going to be milking those views.
I mean, it's frustrating. I can tell you everyone in Green Bay hates Adam Schefter. Green Bay Twitter absolutely hates him. It's hilarious. That's probably the most hated man in Wisconsin right now. And yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I like John's point and I like your point about, if he's 27, it's a different situation. You can't throw a year away of your career at 37 if you're serious about building a legacy with championships. You're running out of time. You only have one, and you're running out of time. But I have a genuine question. If he gets traded to, and some of the top suitors are the Dolphins, the Washington football team, the Broncos, or Raiders, are any of those places a better situation than Green Bay?
No, except for maybe Miami.
Maybe Miami.
I'm just saying, like, the fact that he wants to force himself out like this, to me, is foolish because he's in a great situation.
What has Aaron Rodgers done to the Packers organization to make them hate him?
They don't hate him.
No. All right. Exactly. So then the Packers then went out and said, hey, Aaron, go screw yourself. We're going to take the quarterback that's going to replace you, and we're not going to tell you about it. Like,
but you don't have to that's such a fallacy because you don't.
Is
have
that
to
telling
say
someone
that
to go screw
means they
themselves?
hate him. Like,
does that
you don't
mean
have to
saying, hey, your replacement's
draft
coming
his
in?
replacement.
Okay, Jackson, think about this. Think if you showed up to work one day and there was just someone there to replace you, but you're still going to work there, but that person is just going to do a better job and have more potential
every
than you.
job. When they know you have 5 years to your pension's up and retiring, they hire somebody else.
Okay, John,
you.
but then your time's coming up. Aaron Rodgers is going to keep on playing until he doesn't want to.
And if he keeps playing like this, they won't get rid of him. They'll let him keep playing. It's like, what else? Like, is the organization supposed to completely just give themselves like a suicide note and say, okay, we're going to let you play until you're absolutely terrible so your feelings don't get hurt? Like, they can't do that.
I think that's what he expects.
Well, that's just if that's the case and that's what he expects, he's irrational and he's delusional. And he should know better than anyone because he was in the same situation. He came in right behind Brett Favre. Like, it's just like, how
did Brett
in that
Favre
situation
have any like knowledge of Aaron getting drafted?
I don't think the knowledge of it even matters. You shouldn't have to tell a player who you're drafting. They're a player, not a scout, not a GM, not a coach. You shouldn't have to tell someone.
Josh, you are saying that this team has to entirely like turn over.
I'm not saying I think that's what the team should do, but I think if I'm thinking from Aaron's aspect, like, I'm just saying like maybe that's what's going through his head.
Do you think the Patriots?
If that's what's
you think the Patriots asked Brady if it was okay to draft Garoppolo? Like, no, they didn't. No,
the Buccaneers
Brady hated Garoppolo.
To draft Kyle Trask.
Brady hated Garoppolo. Why do you think? You think they would have just let him?
Are you good if we draft Kyle Trask?
I guarantee you they did not ask him that.
I swear to God,
it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. If that's how you run your organization, then you are.
I swear to God,
that's just not the right way to run an organization. I'm sorry. You shouldn't ask players if it's okay to draft someone at their position. That's just
when they're 44 years old. Like,
I'm sorry. If you're running your organization like that, you're not a team. You don't run the team. The quarterback runs the team.
That's Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady on Wednesday said he knew as early as April 2020. Wait, nope, never mind. That's wrong.
April 2020 wasn't even the Kyle Trask. Anyways, besides the point, I'm just saying. First of all, Rodgers, they asked him before they drafted Jordan Love, what would you do if they drafted another quarterback? And he said, no matter what they do, I'm going to beat whoever they bring in out. He said that.
coming from Sports Illustrated, I just want to make my point that this happens around organizations. Tom Brady was fully invested in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers draft, making himself available to each pick shortly after the event wrapped up. Tampa Bay then reached out to Tom to make sure that was okay.
What point are you trying to make, though, Josh?
Like, so are you trying to make the point that a quarterback should be the GM? That the quarterback should be able to run the show?
Be aware of if
do you want Mahomes just to be able to be like, nah, you're not allowed to? When Mahomes turns 38, do you want him to just be able to tell the organization, you're not allowed to take another quarterback for the future?
No.
I'm not allowing it.
I feel like if the Packers would have told Aaron what their plans were for the future, I think this would be different.
Do you think if they told Aaron Rodgers that they were going to draft his replacement, it would have made him happier? That makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry, but that makes no sense. That's like telling someone, hey, we're going to fire you in 3 years, but we're letting you know now. Like, what?
It's good to know.
That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm sorry. That, like, telling someone you're going to draft their replacement doesn't make it any better than just drafting their replacement. And they didn't know they were drafting his replacement before it happened, probably. They probably were looking for a guy like Justin Jefferson or someone, and then the draft played out the way it did, and they took Jordan Love because they thought he was the best available.
Who got drafted first, Patrick Queen or Jordan Love?
Patrick Queen was after Jordan Love. He was 2 picks after, I believe. They traded up to get Love, which if you believe that you have the guy at quarterback, if you believe that the guy on the board can be your franchise for the future, you absolutely 1,000% do it. So I don't blame Green. I was pissed the night it happened, and it's frustrating because you love Rodgers as a Packers fan and you really know how great he is. But at some point, you have to just understand. Like,
what the discussion we just had was not how I view it, was how I think Aaron Rodgers views it.
But what point were you trying to make? We all understand that that's what you thought he meant. So we just did 30 minutes of arguing over nothing.
I think it makes good points because if that's Rodgers' biggest gripe, then Rodgers has a problem. It's not a Packers problem.
I don't know why he's yelling mad. Someone just said, "Why is he yelling?" Laughing my ass off, John. You're making
Rodgers. So would you? Because this is a real situation.
People
if
what the hell?
I'm not going to ask John this because I know John's answer. Josh, if Rodgers' gripe is that they didn't tell him they're going to draft Jordan Love, do you stand on his side or Green Bay's side in that situation?
I don't know. I would say
it's a pretty clear-cut answer in my opinion.
I would stand closer to Green Bay, but I'm just saying.
Agree.
Let me list you a few QBs: Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You want to know what happens when they draft QBs for Ben Roethlisberger?
They haven't taken one in the first round, so it doesn't matter.
Ben Roethlisberger got pissed at Mason Rudolph.
This isn't applicable, though, because neither team took a first-round quarterback. It doesn't matter.
I'll give you that. All right, my point's valid. I will lean to Green Bay.
Thank you. And that's how it should be. This whole offseason has been...
We don't have much time, so we're going to get into
Green Bay's
Sherman.
Poverty. Green Bay can't support Rodgers. They haven't put the pieces around him. They're making him unhappy. When do you take a look and say, listen, this is a great roster?
We got to keep going.
All right.
Fine. Richard Sherman.
This man's monologuing.
All right. Unless you want to keep paying for minutes on Whereby, then we have to keep going.
No, let's go. I'm done.
All right, Richard
Who the
Sherman,
hell is watching this, by the way? Like, rethink your life choices.
Hey, don't talk about our listeners like that.
Hey, Mad, we appreciate you. Don't listen to him.
No,
all right.
What the hell is wrong with you, dude?
All right, continue, Josh.
Richard Sherman arrested for burglary and all that.
Yeah.
Is he done? Is his career done?
Yeah, why would they let him back? He's old as piss.
It should be.
And he threatened to
Isn't he the vice president of the NFLPA?
Door.
Not anymore, probably.
But
listen, it's kind of ironic. Not ironic, but it's kind of odd how him and Earl Thomas both, were on that Legion of Boom and both have flamed out.
Wait, hold up, pause. No, never mind. This dude said, "Can you mute him for $20?" And then he said, "Just kidding." John, you were about to be muted.
Dang. I would have been happily muted for $20.
No, I think Sherman's done. He's not worth that. I mean, he needs help. I mean, he
has CTE. It is plain and
football
simple.
Football should be the last worry for him right now. He's had a great career. He's made a lot of money. He's clearly mentally a little unstable right now. He should get that figured out. If he's able to get that figured out one day and come back and play, good for him. If not, he had a good career.
I think that pretty much sums it up nice.
I mean, There's not
Tom
much better
Brady-
way to say it, is there?
I know we already speak about him. Tom Brady played with a torn MCL.
John's gonna
Oh.
let John carry this
I
segment.
know, John. I want you
I
to
just
let.
don't care. Like
No.
I don't
Wait. Pause. What
Pause.
John's about to say, we fully back up. We 100% agree with his opinions. John, start.
Okay. I am not going to go super intense on this because I don't think he realizes this isn't as big a deal. Like when I type in all caps in the group, it doesn't necessarily mean it pisses me off super hard. But like, why is this even a story? If he was playing with a torn effing MCL, then it obviously wasn't that bad. So like, why are we trying to like pull this out of our hat randomly? Oh, he had a messed up knee. Like, no, he didn't. He played like a normal quarterback who just dicked around and did.
If that was
system
Lamar
quarterback shit.
Jackson, then yes. And if the Ravens still won the Super Bowl, then yes, this deserves attention. But this is how Tom Brady plays anyway.
Yeah,
He has,
that's-
yeah.
exactly. That's what we
He's
said.
literally like,
I know,
if
that's
there
why
was a
I'm
quarterback,
just, like,
if there was a quarterback in NFL history that could play with 2 torn ACLs at the same time, it would
It's
be Tom
Brady.
Brady, because he literally just does not
or
need
Phillip
to
Rivers,
move.
because he's literally done it once.
Philip Rivers and Elway, they both got respect for that.
But
Played
Brady,
with 2 torn ACLs.
no.
Bro,
Both-
Brady, how many steps do you think Brady takes in the pocket on an average drop back? 2, 3 maybe? Like,
Can't we look
the-
this up?
I think Mahomes took more steps on one snap in the Super Bowl than he probably did the entire postseason. Like, he doesn't even move. New England built him an unbelievable offensive line, and somehow Tampa just gets this god rookie right tackle, Tristan Wirfs, who has the best rookie season of
Who
tackles
I
ever
did
had.
say the Chiefs should trade up for last year when I saw him run his combine. I am not going to say I projected this dude to be good.
Run.
but
Okay,
when
no one
he
gives a
ran
shit about the 40-yard
4.5
dash.
40, if that dude's running a 5.5 40, he has something.
When does the 40-yard dash matter for an offensive lineman, though? Like, who the hell cares? The offensive line, that's like the least important thing an offensive lineman does at the combine. Receiver, yes. Running back, yes. Quarterback, maybe. But offensive line? No. Get out of here with that. But yeah, Brady playing with a torn MCL, I'm sorry. It just doesn't impress me. It really just doesn't. If that's Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen, Lamar, that's really impressive because they rely on their legs to make plays. Brady, I mean, okay. Like, it's not like you get hit ever. It's also not like you ever throw any deep passes or anything skillful. So let it be, I guess.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to find something, but I can't.
And his trainer's like, he can play till 45. No shit. If I didn't get hit and I threw 3-yard passes, I'd be playing till 45 too. Like, he literally, what he does is literally hilariously so easy. Like, I know he's capable of throwing deep, but he literally, like, 95% of his passes are 5 yards and less. Like, it's bullshit. And how a team cannot stop that is beyond me. I have no idea.
All right.
Maybe I should become a defensive coordinator. I don't know.
Well, Matty Mock is a defensive coordinator. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Matty Mock is coaching. Where at?
Defensive coordinator. It's a high school, but still makes no
For
sense.
high school. What a role model.
I just figured that out a couple days ago. So I thought
What a role model, Matty Mock.
Also, a little interesting note of the day, Tottenham. Soccer's
yeah.
coming.
I'll
Soccer's
abstain
coming.
here.
But no,
Jackson,
John.
you need to get your ass on the Tottenham
Yeah,
train, bro.
everyone, we were trying to get Jackson to become a Tottenham fan.
Am I going to regret this greatly?
Wait,
Is
are
Is
you
this, one,
actually,
is this one of those teams that just
are you
puts
actually
you through a lot of pain?
It's Missouri
Yeah.
Athletics. It's Missouri Athletics.
Oh, I'm not doing it then. No.
No,
I'm-
but one day.
No, the one day, I hear that with Mizzou too. There's not going to be a one day.
No, there's gonna be a one day.
No. I'm sorry. I can't invest into 2 Mizzou athletics.
Bro, they
One's
already
harder.
fired like we already got rid of our Barry Odom. Okay.
Yeah, no, we
This is-
already got rid of.
Mariota.
We already got rid of the.
Are you
King
entering the Elia Drinkwitz era?
We hope.
We hope.
somewhat.
Oh, John doesn't hope. John wanted his ass fired.
Also, John's also good in the sports cards, so there's that too.
Yep.
Interesting.
Not a card.
I know. I guarantee it, at least someone that listens to our podcast is into sports cards. Because
Yeah,
it's
It's
getting
probably
big.
true.
And next week, there will not be a live podcast. We will have 2 interviews that were recorded over a year ago with 2
Oh, yeah.
Royals draft picks, if we can find them.
We'll find him.
They're lost in the archives.
Tyler
Well, they're in the
Gentry
archives, though.
sucks ass.
What'd you just say?
God damn
Tyler
it,
Gentry
John.
sucks ass.
All
All
right,
right.
but no.
Well, John's just an idiot.
We'll have
but
Tyler Gentry and Saul Garza interviews next week for the podcast. So there's something to look forward to.
Royals
but-
content.
Yeah. So, yeah, other than that, this has been Primetime Kansas City, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.